Welcome back, guys, to Pirate Talk Radio. This is episode 110. And, we just had the Xbox showcase. I know normally I have the episode out by now. Last week was the Diablo launch, so I took the week off. Again, not much happening in Sea of Thieves. Took the week off, so thank you very much for being patient. Was allowing me to, honestly, the new studio is like 95% done. So hopefully it'll be done 100% before the Fest of Legends. But very soon you should see a new background and a whole new location that we're recording this in. So took some hours, actually took a whole day to keep working on that. 95% done, 95 to 98% done. Played some Diablo on a marathon. I know some folks came by and said hello. Basically did a whole weekend marathon of Diablo on its launch. Had a lot of fun with that game. Still having a lot of fun with that game. Haven't really been in Sea of Thieves too much, just because, again, we're nearing, or we thought, and we'll talk about this in a minute, nearing the end of the season. And, you know, with Diablo coming out and a few other games coming out, the crew has just been engaged in other things. It's also summertime, so people are trying to get outside and things like that. So it just didn't line up. So it was a nice little break for me. Hopefully we'll be back into some Sea of Thieves here soon on stream. Because there's plenty of stuff to do with the captaincy things and lots of adventures to have, right? Lots of adventures to have, but, we've got a lot of things to talk about now that the Xbox showcase has officially happened. I know I'm recording this while it's still going on. Since I was late to get this episode out, I wanted to make sure that I got this out as soon as we knew what the Sea of Thieves news was. So as soon as I got to the Sea of Thieves part, I watched it. I've rewatched it. I took some notes down, and now it's time to talk about it while it's still going on. So hopefully, Rare does not have another launch. And I'm going to miss what that is. And if I do, well, then we'll just have to talk about it next time, because I wanted to get this done and out and in your hands as fast as possible, or in your ear spaces as fast as possible, so you guys could know my thoughts and things like that. So I hope you're excited. If you haven't watched the Xbox showcase, well, as soon as the announcement happened, and as soon as basically as soon as everything kind of wrapped on just the Rare portion, which was just, again, a short little video, everything like tweets hit from the Sea of Thieves official, the video went, the announcement trailer went on their YouTube. Basically everything blew up to kind of show that this is what was coming. So unless you're living under a rock, you probably already know what's coming. But if you don't, this episode's probably not going to be one you want to listen to until after you watch that, because I'm going to talk about what's coming, and I'm excited, but also kind of lost, because what's coming, I have no clue anything about. So I'm going to have to do some extracurricular gaming to figure out what is about to come to Sea of Thieves, because it's big. It's a big IP, but for me, I don't know anything about it. So here we go. So let's start with our thank yous. First off, I want to thank Steamed Bunnin, I hope I said that right, for your Twitter DM and your nice words about the show. I appreciate it very much, and I hope I was able to answer your questions on captaincy. I hope I was able to answer all your questions there that you had. But thank you for your kind words. Also, shout out to Seaman123. I said that with a break in there. Seaman one. Yep. Okay. 5-star podcast review on Apple from Great Britain. So I'm sure you did this a while back and it just now synced. But thank you very much. C-Man123 says, cool podcast. Keep it up, man. Appreciate it very, very much. I plan to. And then, of course, I want to shout out and thank our wonderful sponsors, our beautiful, our notorious, our glorious patrons, Skemelt666, Lane, and Regis Stella, who continue month after month to throw their hard-earned money at this fool because they appreciate the content, and I appreciate them more than anything because that helps me do a lot of stuff. And you know, a lot of folks, you know, there's patrons out there, there are Patreons out there for a lot of different folks. And you honestly, some of you probably, if you're part of the patrons and stuff like that, you probably don't know necessarily where your money's going with those. Some patrons share that information. Other Patreons don't. Look, this last week, my audio interface that allows me to hook up all the sound for my streams, for the podcast, and record. This device I've had for 3 years now. This device is $500 in order for me to, because I don't use USB stuff, right? This is all XLR, high-end professional audio stuff because I don't skimp, right? And that audio interface is $500, and it went out. And I have to get a replacement. Thankfully, I do have a backup, so I'm able to do this, and it's still a high-end one. It's just it doesn't have the same functionality and abilities that the other one did. So I've got I have less power with it. So I need to get that one replaced. And guess what? Because of the wonderful support of the patrons, I'm going to be able to do that and get that replaced and get that installed and make sure the quality stays up there. We don't have to go to USB microphones. There's nothing wrong with USB microphones out there, but as someone who's worked in production for a very long time, XLR microphones with soundboards are just way better, but it's not for everyone, right? It's not for everyone. But because of the patrons, I'm able to do that. So again, if anyone wants to check out the different perks and different tiers of Patreon, patreon.com/DavrimTV, it starts as low as $1. And let me tell you what, every single dollar from these wonderful patrons matters, and it goes to helping me fix things that go out. I mean, it's technology, right? It's electric. It goes bad. I know there's some other upgrades from some aging equipment that's going to happen. And because of those patrons, I'm able to do that. So thank you very much to the patrons. You guys are awesome. Okay. So, again, before we get into the Xbox showcase, I was prepared to do a lengthy and angry rant. I was prepared. Because something happened this week on Sea of Thieves that really disappointed me and has caused a lot of outrage across the community, all over social media. Season 9, which was already set as a long season, but it was scheduled to end here in the next week or so as we got to the mid part of June. We were going to have the captaincy week. We still may have that. There's been no information that we won't have that. But the anticipation was because of how the in-game timer was listed, the season would end right around this Xbox showcase, which is today. 6/11 is the first part of the Xbox showcase. And so it lined up perfectly. We would get an announcement just like we did Pirate's Life. We'd get an announcement and it would be play next Thursday, right? And then season 10 starts. We get the new content and everything is just like it was for A Pirate's Life. We all anticipated this would be a big announcement, which it was. But without any communication, and still, as of the last time I checked, there is still no communication on the official Sea of Thieves information anywhere, on their website, on anything. I have seen zero communication whatsoever, but the season has been extended. The season is now has 8 weeks left, which is 2 months. So the rest of June and all of July, pretty much, which again, it lines up for what they announced at the Xbox showcase, which we're going to talk about in a minute, right? It lines up perfectly which is what we anticipated season 9 would do, right? We would have season 10 with, new cosmetics, new plunder pass, and a new content that we got announced at the showcase. We still get that, but they delayed the season. And so my issue is not delaying the season. I want to make that very clear. I think we get a little too excited and a little too critical of studios when they delay things, right? I would rather a studio delay things every single time, every update, if it's not ready. Now, after so many, I think they should reevaluate their update process to make sure they have enough stuff in the update and can hit their timetables, right? As someone who manages ridiculous amounts of projects with ridiculous amounts of budget, with a lot of people involved, I don't set my expectations of deadlines that are unachievable with the workload that needs to go in. And that's what happens in game development, right? You have this amazing game that everyone's excited for, and you have an amazing update that everyone's excited for, and it just doesn't pan out to the timetable. And that's fine. But you need to let your fans know. You need to let your player base know. You need to let those folks know that you're going to do it without them logging into the game and just seeing it had been pushed with no reasoning, no whatever. Rare does not owe us a detailed letter of why exactly they pushed it. They don't need to tell us X, Y, Z, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 on why they push it. All they have to do is communicate out and say, look, players, we apologize. Unfortunately, season 10 and the content we're giving you is not quite there yet. We want to make sure that we have a great update for you. We want to make sure we have a great patch for you. We want to make sure we have a great start to the season for you. And because of that, we need to delay this, a couple weeks, right? We need to delay this basically what it amounts to is a month, is what it is going to amount to. A little over a month is what the delay is. Just that simple communication. Yes, people are still going to be critical of why they pushed it. People are still going to be critical and say, give me more information. People are always going to be critical about pushes in their favorite game or this. But the problem is you get a lot more angry people and you get a lot more pushback, which we're seeing right now all over social media, if you just stealthily do it. If you just go into your code and push that date in there and no one knows why, that is when we have issues and discontent in the player base. And unfortunately, Rare has done it this time. And I checked their official Twitter, which is where they normally put everything, and there's nothing there. Absolutely nothing there about the extent of this push. And I really think that's unacceptable. Now, we're going to talk here in a minute why they pushed it, because we know why now with the Xbox Showcase. It still sucks that it's pushed, but this next set of content, I think, is going to be very excited for a lot of players. It should excite all players because it's something new. It's a lot of content to do. I know some players probably are not going to be as excited because the IP isn't a big name like, say, Pirates of the Caribbean or Captain Hook or Peter Pan. It's not that type of IP. But the studio they're partnering with in order to execute this particular update is legendary in gaming. It's legendary in movies. And the brand is legendary in gaming for those fans and for those people who are aware. I am aware of the IP. I've just never played it. But we're going to change that because I want to learn about this before this update so I can talk about it and I'll know more about it. All right, should I just say it? Okay, I'm just going to say it. It's Monkey Island, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monkey Island. All right? That's the IP, that's the update. It's LucasArts, which if you're not familiar with LucasArts is the company or the brand or company or whatever. It is purchased. It's owned by Disney. But It is what George Lucas started with Star Wars. LucasArts, Lucasfilm, Skywalker Sound, those were companies that George Lucas made specifically to do games, audio, visual, and production for the Star Wars franchise. As part of the Disney deal, Lucasfilms and LucasArts went to Disney. Skywalker Sound is still independent, but again, that's beside the point. But so it is with Disney, right? We had the major part of the Disney negotiations done with Pirates of the Caribbean, but now we're talking about another IP, and we're talking about another division of Disney, which has a lot longer of a history in gaming than say just the Disney brand, right? LucasArts, I mean, we're talking Star Wars Galaxies, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing. We're talking all the Jedi Knights and Jedi Outcasts and the Star Wars MMOs and the new Star Wars Jedi crap, can't think of the game. Those are LucasArts. That's their games, right? That is the company that makes those games. And Rare has now partnered with them in order to bring Sea of Thieves and Monkey Island together. So that is a huge partnership. And now I kind of understand where Joe Neat was talking about things coming up, was requiring a lot of legalese and a lot of back and forth and a lot of chit chat with some other folks. Now I understand, right? Because now we're dealing with another game studio basically in LucasArts and another company that's renowned in the gaming space and in the movie space. This company's huge and it is part of Disney, but people should be excited that this partnership is happening, right? Because regardless of how you feel about Star Wars and regardless of how you feel about individual Star Wars games, one thing is true. LucasArts know how to make a game. LucasArts knows how to tell a story. Star Wars games, good, bad, or ugly, are still in the top tier of games. All of them. They all have great controls. They all have a great story. And sure, there's things you can complain about, but LucasArts makes good games. And so knowing that LucasArts and Rare are partnered together, even if the partnership is just the IP, whatever. That partnership is here, and obviously LucasArts is going to probably have a very strong opinion about how the Monkey Island is treated. I am super excited about this. The Pirates of the Caribbean was excellent. Seeing the video on the showcase, excellent, and we'll deep dive into that in a minute. But just so I didn't just keep saying, hey, what's coming next? What's coming next? And it's Monkey Island, okay? So we can move past that. So Season 9 delayed until the end of July, which bumps up to Season 10 and the Monkey Island partnership update with Legend of Monkey Island releasing to everyone free of charge on July the 20th. So just over a month from now, we will be into a new land of tall tales, new land of adventure, and we will be exploring the world of Monkey Island. The other thing that we got in this stealth push in game, and something I didn't expect, but I think with the delay in the season, Rare was going to have to give us something because players. Season 9 was already long. Season 9, though, I think is one of the best seasons we've had because of how much cleanup they're doing. It's still for the majority of players who want that new content and want new things to do. This season has been disappointing to them because there's not something new to do aside from the fort of fortune for the chest of fortune. There's no new forts. There's no new adventures. There's no new tall tales. There's nothing. And aside from the mystery happening right now, Season 9 has kind of been lackluster in content. And I understand those folks. I think Season 9 was definitely necessary and important, but having a delay in Season 9 is going to cause more players to stop playing. So Rare has to figure out a way to stem the bleeding of players between now and July 20th with Monkey Island. And I got a little Tweety bird in my ear that said, and I haven't confirmed this, so if this is wrong, blame the Tweety bird, that there is a new timer set up in the Sea of Thieves menus, and that is the next line, the tier 3, the final chapter of the Briggsy adventure is coming in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now puts us right at the, usually again, they're 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now, going to put us right around the beginning of July. So July 4th holiday type stuff here in the United States. Sorry, Great Britain, but we beat you. And that's our time to shoot off fireworks like a whole bunch of hicks and morons. But July 4th puts us right around that time. People are going to be off work. People are going to be able to play games potentially. So it sounds like to me that the next adventure, which I'm excited to see because I've enjoyed this adventure so far, and I want to see where we go with Briggsy. We are going to get that as kind of a, it's usually a 2-week thing. We're going to have 2 weeks of content with the new adventure before we'll have another little downtime going into the new update, Season 10, and the Legend of Monkey Island. So again, I think to close this off, I think the major issue I'm having here is that Rare kind of ignored their player base. They kind of gave us the middle finger, if you will, and just kind of stealthily put in this information. I don't know if they meant to hurt us that way. I doubt it. They're usually, they're all about the community. I just think this was a miss on their side, that you stealth put that in there. Again, I don't care if you put out a little tweet, a letter, a video, don't care. If you just put something out there which tells us why you're delaying the season, that'll make most of us calm. We'll be upset. I will rant and bitch about it for a little while about how you need to get your crap together and organize your development cycle so you can hit your deadline. But that's the professional project manager in me, and I don't like people missing deadlines. But at least for the general player base who are not crazy project managers like myself, you're going to understand and you're going to be okay with that most likely. You'll be a little disappointed, but you'll be okay so long as you know it's happening and it's just not how it was done. And that's a stealth change to that timetable and a stealth change to things in game without letting us know. So let's jump to the Xbox Showcase. The Legend of Monkey Island. First off, let's just take a moment and appreciate the video. If you have not watched the video, it's great. It's really good. In fact, here's what we're going to do. I am going to actually pull up the video. Yes, I'm going to pull up the video. Now, those of you listening on the podcasting version are obviously just going to hear it. I'm sorry. Those watching the YouTube version are actually going to be able to see it on screen above my head here as soon as I get it on screen here. So, Legend of Monkey Island. Let's go ahead and bring it on screen and go ahead and play it.
Welcome to the Scum Bar, the most notorious tavern on Melee Island. Wall-to-wall rogues.
We got the cursed captain back there.
So tell me, which ship is right for you? A big ship, a luxury ship, a ship with just a
Great
splash
cosmetics.
of je ne sais quoi?
The Legend of Monkey Island. You mean Governor
Not sure how
Guybrush.
Guybrush became governor,
But
but
Threepwood's not set foot on
beside
that
the point.
mansion for almost a year.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? I told you no autographs. So I see you have a meet and greet ticket. And I guess it's not every day that you get
He's
to
got the
meet
golden
mighty pirate
ticket.
Guybrush Threepwood, the legend of Monkey Island.
The Chuck has turned the memories of this island into a prison for Guybrush.
Reminds me of Aladdin.
Well, what do we have here?
You'll need these.
Things may be very different from the Sea of Thieves you know.
Great ship cosmetics there. The duck / chicken. I guess they're chickens. So there you go. Again, for those of you just listening and not watching the YouTube, it's this video was very, very much classic Rare. It was 100% classic Rare. It had comedy. It had things to get you excited about. Everything from something we've not really seen before in Rare, where we've got like a dungeon, right? It looks like a monkey head dungeon, and the mouth opens and the ladder comes down. Are we getting dungeons? I don't know. They talked about they kind of talked about being trapped in a dungeon. They talked about so I'm thinking mazes. A dungeon, which we've never really maybe seen before, right? You've got shores of gold and you've got things like that, but like a true dungeon where like you wake up inside and you can't just walk out the back. Like you have to trudge forward. You got to figure out puzzles and mazes, and I think there's some cool things that they could do there that we've never seen before. A lot of new characters, right? First off, it's a new area, right? And based on how the video opens with the galleon sailing through green mist, my guess is we're probably going to be using the Pirate's Life large stone portals again in order to get to Monkey Island. I believe that's what that kind of told me, though there was no confirmation in there. We didn't see the structures at all. It just gave me that vibe of we are going to be sailing through those portals in order to get to this new land. I don't think it's a map expansion because, again, Monkey Island takes place in the Caribbean. Sea of Thieves is in the Caribbean, according to Mike Chapman, but surrounded by the Shroud. So we have to get to Monkey Island. So my guess is the way we get there is through the portals, or maybe there's another area on the map that's going to be designated as a break through the Shroud where you can enter the Caribbean and go visit Monkey Island. I'm not sure. The portals are probably going to be the easiest way for them to do that. But again, the portals were portals to the damned, not necessarily to another living area. So does Monkey Island take place in the Sea of the Damned, or are we actually exiting the Sea of Thieves for the first time and being outside the Sea of Thieves in a new world? Very interesting. A lot of things to take a look at. Again, we didn't get any gameplay, obviously. Rare is very much, they give us the beautiful videos with the comedy. I mean, one of the places they were at in Monkey Island was a damn circus, firing people out of the cannon through flaming hula hoops, and it was great. It was great. It had that classic Sea of Thieves Rare comedy, but still had that excitement, that building excitement for a new update that we've never seen. New characters. We've got characters directly from Monkey Island. I believe kind of like how Calypso played the narrator / storyteller in A Pirate's Life. I feel like we're going to have Voodoo Lady is going to be that kind of role, just based on the moment you see her behind the smoking thing, and she says this area is different than the Sea of Thieves, So I think she might be kind of that storytelling person in this. Obviously, we have the main character of Monkey Island, the hero of Monkey Island, if you will, even though, he's got some he's got some quirks. Guybrush Threepwood. He is apparently the governor of Monkey Island now. In the video, it says that he's been held up in his mansion and not seen for some time. So we bust in there; it's all cluttered and stuff, and he's playing with a figure of himself and his love Elaine on the desks. And apparently, in order to go visit him, you have to have a meet and greet ticket, which one of the Sea of Thieves crew guys did. It looked like the Willy Wonka golden ticket. Really, really cool little, I'm guessing, Easter egg to the Willy Wonka, because that felt very Willy Wonka to me, right? That felt very Willy Wonka. You know, Guybrush Threepwood, he's locked up in his building, doesn't want to be disturbed by anyone, and all of a sudden these folks come in with a golden ticket and interrupt him, right? So it felt very Willy Wonka Easter egg to me right there. I would like to know if that was the vibe they were going for, but that is the vibe I got. And I love Willy Wonka. I love both Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think they're both great movies, and that gave me very big Willy Wonka vibes. But in classic Guybrush fashion, you know, he stands up and he pulls his sword out and he cuts his pants and they fall down and you see his heart boxers. It's just very Sea of Thieves. It honored what I've been told is Monkey Island, very comical and things like that. I was told that. And then, you know, as we're kind of taking the crew along the adventure of this island and meeting these new folks, there's a lot of cool cosmetics, like the boat salesman. You know, he points out the boats that he's selling, and he points out the rowboat, which says sold as seen, and it's sinking down. And he's got kind of a very pirate outfit on, but it does have a tie like a used car salesman and a massive hat. Like, there's some cool cosmetic potential that we saw going through here in this video, including a hat that might be a pot and pan, right? There's a lot of things that I saw on the different pirates and little outfit things that we saw in this video that could turn into some really fun emotes or really fun cosmetics that you could put on your pirate. I mean, hell, we've got a spatula sword and a banana hat already. Let's just bring in some more cookware, like the hat that is a pan, and that'll go with your spatula sword. I think that's great. I think it would be fun, and I hope they do something like that. But a lot of cool cosmetics in there. Guybrush Threepwood had a really cool golden sword, reminiscent of I believe it's the Briggsy sword, but there's some changes on it. Really cool. So anxious to see what cosmetics come out of this. There's a really nice figurehead. The Monkey Island figurehead's a little monkey holding a banana on the front of the ship. And the ship almost looked ghostly and like going through the heart of fire. So some really cool environmental places that it looks like we're going to be able to explore here on Monkey Island. But who is our villain? Now, if you're familiar with the Monkey Island, and I had to Google this, ladies and gentlemen, because I saw the villain in the video, but I don't know who it is. So I had to, you know, I thought it was Guybrush Threepwood, apparently Threepwood. I didn't know who Elaine was, the little second doll. That's apparently his girlfriend or the person he likes. Voodoo, like all these people I had to look up because I don't know. I don't know this game at all. I don't know this IP at all. I know there's a lot of folks out there that's a huge fan of Monkey Island. I don't know anything about this. So, yeah. So there's a really cool villain. Kind of a skipped leg day, beefy guy, skeleton man with a big beard and a big hat, and a big old Athena keg happens, and he kind of walks out of the smoke like some badass. And I had to figure out who that was because clearly it was the villain. The villain of Monkey Island is a skeletal captain named LeChuck. So really cool looking model. I hope they do something like that. Again, just a comical shape to him. He's a skeleton captain, really beefy upper body with like skip leg day legs. And I'm just so excited. The voice acting for all the characters in there was on point. And I hope they use those same folks or have some folks that really capture that goofiness of Guybrush, that mysterious storytelling aspect for Voodoo Lady, that kind of villain of LeChuck. I really hope that they continue with those voice actors because that video got me pumped. And I know nothing about Monkey Island. I know zero about the game. And I'm sure there's folks out there right now who know nothing about Monkey Island. So, what are we going to do about that? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do about that. We're going to play Monkey Island, right? Because I don't know anything about it. And I feel like that is something that I should do. And I think it's something that a lot of folks should probably do leading up to this. And so let's play Monkey Island. So what I'm going to do, I have decided this. What I'm going to do over the course of now and July is I'm going to get Monkey Island. It is available on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, and Xbox. So there's plenty of places, and this is Return to Monkey Island, by the way, the most recent Monkey Island video game. So it is available on a variety of different platforms for you to play. It's the art in Monkey Island is very, how do I put this? It is very comic booky. Which I really like that. I really think the artwork is fun, which means I'm very excited to see how Sea of Thieves takes that style and makes it their own. From what we saw from the trailer, it looks great. But yeah, it's on a variety of different platforms. It's Steam, by the way, on PC, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox. Maybe I'll play it on Xbox with the newest, my Office, once I get the new Office set up. This is, by the way, if you are an Xbox Game Pass member, it is included in Game Pass, and it also has cloud gaming, so you can have that. Currently it's on sale for $17.49. I think that's with my Game Pass discount. Normally $24.99 on Xbox. If you're interested with Switch, Return to Monkey Island on Switch is, of course, Nintendo's website is loading slow. $24.99 on Switch. So you can get it on Switch there, and $24.99 on PS5 if you're a PS5 player. So lots of options for you to get Return to Monkey Island, which it is on sale right now. Yeah, it is on sale for the next 8 days. So you got about a week to get it on Xbox on sale. $17.49. Return to Monkey Island. So I'm going to play through it, and what I'm going to do, I promised last episode that I was going to try to make some more content on the Pirate Talk Radio YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record my playthrough of Monkey Island, and I'm going to put it up, probably break it up in little like 15 to 20 minute episodes. And I'm going to put it up on the Pirate Talk Radio YouTube channel. So maybe it's something that you don't have the time to play through, and you want to get the story. You want to know my reaction to it. I'll have it up there. So that's what I will commit to over the next month before it releases. Is I will play through Monkey Island, and I will release the videos on the Pirate Talk Radio YouTube channel. So make sure you go over there, like, subscribe, and turn the notification bells on. It will be over there. I have some more ideas for other content over there. They're still cooking, right? They're still cooking. And I've got to get some artwork made for them. So any artists out there who want to make some cool logo stuff, reach out to me. I will see what I can do and see if we can come up with a deal. So any artists out there who can do logo work or YouTube thumbnail work, all my contact information is down below. And so we'll get there. So yes, what else do we have here? There's, you know what? There's really not much else to talk about. I'm excited. First off, I'm excited because I get to explore a new world. I get to explore another pirate game, and I get to explore it in such a way that it's fresh and new and leading up to being inside a game that I love. As you all know, I love Sea of Thieves. I might not play it as much as I used to, but I love that game very much. I think the people at Rare are great people, and are just delighting us again with bringing another big pirate IP into the Sea of Thieves for us to explore, meet new characters, and fall in love with new stories and things like that. I know they're going to be, I know they're going to do a great job, especially after how they did Pirate's Life. I know they're going to do a great job with this. I know Mike Chapman is very passionate about Monkey Island. Hell, there was a Easter egg for Monkey Island in A Pirate's Life, in the first Tall Tale of A Pirate's Life. It just is so good. Because again, he knows that it's a good story. He loved the game. He loves the characters. And we knew Monkey Island was going to come to Sea of Thieves. It was just a matter of time. And to me, this makes perfect sense. We're removed from A Pirate's Life. It's ready. It's time for another big update to Sea of Thieves. And this makes perfect sense. I'm super excited. I'm honestly glad it's not Hook and Peter Pan as this one. I know a lot of people are wanting Hook. I know a lot of people are wanting Peter Pan. It's probably going to happen at some point, but this time it's Monkey Island, which is super exciting to me because I get to explore a new game, play a new game with all of you, and experience Monkey Island for the first time, leading up to and then enjoying Monkey Island in Sea of Thieves. So I think that wraps it up. Again, I know this is going to be a short episode because I wanted to get it done and out to everyone ASAP right after the Xbox showcase, so you could hear my thoughts on it. But I'm excited. I hope they do this well. I hope there's not too many bugs. I know with LucasArts, Lucas Games being involved in this, it's just going to be like Pirate's Life, where they're going to be watching the release very closely and fixing things as fast as possible to honor those terms and those other dev studios and the IP, right? Guybrush is, from what I've seen, a goofy dude, and I'm excited to have a different style of goofy than Jack Sparrow and just kind of laugh and have a good time. So, guys, thank you very much for your support. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, head over to the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. If you haven't done so already, please drop a 5-star review on the podcasting app of your choice. All the reviews come through Chartable, so if you do drop that 5-star review, I appreciate it very much, but I'm not going to see it unless you are in the US for a couple weeks. So just be patient. If you dropped it in there, your shout out will come as soon as Chartable brings it in. And again, thank you to my patrons. As always, you guys have bailed me out this time with my audio equipment and your love and support. And anyone else out there who wants to join in the patrons and get some perks, Pirate Talk Radio, or to help out Pirate Talk Radio and the future of the Pirate Talk Radio channel and brand, go over, check out patreon.com/Davrim TV, and please come hang out in the Discord. We've got a lot of folks that are going to be talking about Monkey Island. We've been doing a lot of Diablo. We have our own Diablo clan set up that I'm leading. So if you're playing Diablo, come and join the Discord and shoot me a message. I'll get you invited in the clan. I've been playing a lot of it on stream over on twitch.tv/Davrim. Come check it out. Have a good time. I'm also, all you Pirate Talk Radio YouTube fans, keep your eyes posted, because some of the live streams, if you prefer to watch them on YouTube rather than Twitch, keep your eyes posted. Not saying anything, but keep your eyes posted. Just saying. Guys, thank you very much. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you next week on Pirate Talk Radio.